Cooking Egyptian in New York. Stuffed zucchini with help from Omar and his mom. Camera crew, Ms. Nikon and Mr. Tripod.
Hi Omar, I'm back from shopping using my Iron Egypt bag, and I picked up some things for the zucchini. I got some fresh parsley. I got some pine nuts. Might try that recipe. There were so many recipes for the zucchini, I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Some rice, pepper, tomato juice, and 2 zucchini.
I wanted to go down to the market to see if I could pick up the extra items I needed. So I headed down to 14th Street and Union Square, where there's a green market every Saturday. And I bought some cheese for some other activities, and I shopped around. These are all things that are grown locally, different kinds of potatoes, and I like the purple ones. Also some maple syrup. These guys are down from Vermont, which is probably about a 2 or 3 hour drive for them. Apples are a big crop in the region. And in this kind of weather, they heat it up and add some spices for hot cider. And on the way home, there was a little bit of music on the subway. And
okay, I'm back from the farmer's market. They have a special market where the farmers sell their crops and produce. And I got some popcorn, organic popcorn, and some onions. The ground beef. So I think I have all the ingredients now, plus a few extras for other things.
One last item I needed was a zucchini corer. So I went around town looking in kitchen shops for zucchini corers, and I found one. But this was the last one they had, and it was nailed to the wall, and they couldn't sell it to me. And so I went to Astoria, looking in the Egyptian neighborhood. And I didn't find any there either.
Okay, it's time to cook Egyptian stuffed zucchini. So, I'm starting my rice, and I've got my 2 onions, and ground beef, and the fresh parsley, and I'm going to start preparing those things before we start cutting up the zucchinis. Chopping the onions. So I usually just take the ends off and peel off the skin. Okay. So usually like that. So I've got one onion cut, working on the second one. Brown the onions. A little bit of olive oil. I'm just gonna toss these guys in here. They're clear and they're starting to brown up a little bit. That's what the directions say. So those are about done, and the rice is done. So we're getting closer. So I added the beef. Add some parsley. And it says to season it, and it just mentions salt and pepper. So I'm just adding the pepper and some salt. Omar said add lots of salt. Okay, so I have 2 zucchini. And I have several different knives. I was unable to find a corer, so I have my regular paring knife, I have a grapefruit knife, and I have my big chopper, and then I have kind of a thin, long bladed knife. So I think I'm going to cut the end off with the big chopper, and I'm going to use the long, thin knife to try to core the zucchini. So let's see if we can do that. This is my biggest pot. I want it to be able to fit in here, so I think I'm going to take a little bit more than just the stem off. So first, to take the top off here, and then it's going to fit right in, beauty. And now, okay, I had to take a break there while I downloaded the photos. The camera got full. There, pretty good. Can you see in there? Way down. So, now I gotta do the other one, which will be harder because it's a little crooked. They're both done. And that's about how deep they are. This one's a little shallower, but it's a little shorter. So, almost down to the end. So, I think we're ready for stuffing now. Okay, a little battery break there. Couple of the recipes about adding pine nuts, so I'm going to add some pine nuts to the meat mix here. Just a little, not too many. Now I'm going to stuff the zucchini. I'm going to try to really, well, it says loosely stuffed, but I got a lot of stuffing. Oh my goodness. Hardly put a dent in it. And the zucchini is full. That seems pretty packed. So there's one. So, now we have everything in here. 2 squash, 3 tomatoes, and the insides from the squash, and little chunks of squash that were from the top, the end, that I cut off. And now we have to add the seasoned tomato juice with the oil. Whee! Just pouring that all over everything. That's a lot. It said 3 cups. They're buried. I'm going to put a little bit of the leftover rice in there. Oh yeah, I have to add some pepper. And I add a little bit of salt. Sprinkle a little bit more in there. Alright. Come back in 30 minutes. Okay, I think it's done. So, turn the heat off. Ooh, steam! And it's all tomatoey. It's still boiling. Okay. This might get a little bit messy, but this is a plate from my grandmother. This is Depression glass, and during the Depression, when they went to the movie theaters, they would get little coupons, and if they got enough coupons, they could get a free dish, and it's some iridescent glass. And so I'm going to try to scoop out some of the items here. Find a squash, see what they look like. There's a tomato. And there is a zucchini. Put a little bit of this on top. There it is, stuffed zucchini. And a tomato, and a couple little zucchini bits, and some rice, and the tomato juice. So, I'm ready to eat. I just want to see how stuffed my zucchini is. And there it is, stuffed all the way through. Yay, yummy. Now it's time to eat. Mmm, delicious.